What's going on, everybody? It is TripleCrown24 back today. I have a very, very special mail day. My 4-year quest to find this card is finally over, and this card deserved its own video. So I have a few other things I want to show off, but that'll be a mail day video probably on Wednesday or Thursday of next week. I'll see what other stuff I have to upload. My uploads are extremely backlogged right now, so I need to get through a lot of stuff, but I had to make this special video today. So if you guys want to go back and watch this video before you watch this one, or you can remember back, Passion for Cards did a Thicky card contest in which I did a contest response to. I'm sure a lot of you guys out there also did a contest response to him. And one of the questions he asked at the end was, what is a card or something that you want to add to your collection in the future? And I got a lot of positive comments about this card in particular to go add one to my collection. Well, at long last, after 40 years of trying to find one for a reasonable price, I have landed a one-of-one Miguel Cabrera SUPERFRACTOR. The camera doesn't do this justice. Even if you look at this in person with the lighting off, it really doesn't do it justice. And this is absolutely stunning card. I highly recommend if you've never owned a SUPERFRACTOR. I think it's something that everyone should have in their collection is one SUPERFRACTOR. Now, I do have some of the Panini like gold vinyl cards. They're basically the SUPERFRACTOR knockoffs. They're not always one-of-ones either. But this is the first time I've ever owned, held, I've never opened a box and hit one. I've never opened a box for someone else and hit one. But this is the first time I've actually held in person a SUPERFRACTOR, and these cards are so cool. I always joke around that if one day I really make it big, I hit the lottery or something, I will get a car that is painted in the SUPERFRACTOR gold just because I love it. I think it's so iconic. And now I have one of my favorite player. As a player collector, this is kind of a dream card that I've been searching for a long time, so I am super stoked to finally add this to my collection. I'm going to sit here and kind of talk about the story of what went into, getting this card in my collection, why I wanted it so bad. If you think back to early 2000s, or early 2010s, I should say, that's really when I started to get into collecting in terms of building a collection more than just, buying a box of cards and, hey, all these base are in my collection. And a lot of the teams I collect, so we're looking specifically at the Detroit Lions and the Detroit Tigers, they're players who are available in the products. They wouldn't stick around. So basically for the Tigers, it was all the prospects and rookies and the Bowman products. And they would always trade those guys away, or those guys would be traded away a few years after they got in the majors just to get the pieces together for the Tigers to make a run at the World Series. And then for the Lions, their rookies, they didn't pan out. Or they left in free agency in the case of Ndamukong and Sue. So a lot of these players who I would collect really, it wasn't worth it at the end of the day. They weren't players who left a lasting impact. So I started to focus more so on collecting specific players heavily that I really like, maybe not investing so much in these guys who haven't really proven themselves. And Cabrera was the most attractive option for me. And it was in 2014 that I really decided to focus on Cabrera as a just side PC from my Tigers PC. And, working in the summers and saving up money to buy these Cabrera cards back in 2014 was a big thrill for me. But the SUPERFRACTORs were still super high. This was coming off his MVP seasons, his Triple Crown season. And for years, I kind of just said, well, I don't know if his prices will ever come down. I don't know if Cabrera will kind of fall off like some of these other stars do when they get into their mid-30s. I'm tripping over my words here. I'm kind of shaking a little bit too. This card is so awesome that I can't even put it in words. I'm at a loss for words. But and then in 2016, 2017, I had really fallen out of baseball cards, especially buying boxes of Bowman or Topps and getting all the base, or even having a shot at the SUPERFRACTORs, or even collecting the Tigers in general, just because they were starting to go downhill a bit. But I've picked up Cabrera's every now and then in my collection, and the SUPERFRACTOR, I just kind of go on eBay once a week, search one up, see if it's reasonable. And I've had the money to just go out there and buy one, but I just didn't think it was worth the price. So that you could pretty much say that for anyone in their collection is that they probably have the money to go out and just buy that card if they really needed to, but it wouldn't have been for a reasonable price. So um, a few weeks ago, this one popped up, and the Topps Finest from 2018 had also popped back up on the market, which is still bitter because I forgot to bid on that card. I was really cheap and threw in one bid, and then I forgot to bid on it again, and it went for $100, and now the guy has it up for like $1,200 or best offer. So it's someone I lost to someone who's just trying to flip the card, which is kind of a little aggravating. But hey, what can you do? But when I saw this one pop up, I knew I wasn't going to let this one get away. And it was put up for, I think it was $280 your best offer. I contacted the seller. I let him know that Cabrera was my main PC. Anything I could do to maybe knock a few dollars off the card. And I offered him $100 initially, and he turned it down. No response to my message. So I thought, okay, well, I don't know if this is like going to be one of those buy it nows where you offer like $5 off the buy it now price and the guy only wants to knock it down like 250, or if I'm close to his ballpark range of what he wants for this card. So I throw in another offer for 125, go to work for the day, come back, and what do you know it? He accepted it and sent me a message. The seller, very, very cool. He packaged it in between several pieces of cardboard and put it in a bubble mailer very securely. Made sure the card was safe. He knew how much it meant to my PC. So I really appreciate it. I doubt the seller will ever watch this video, but when someone takes that extra time and care for their card that means so much to someone, that's more time and care that I usually put into my shipping when I'm sending stuff out. So I greatly appreciate someone doing that and providing that service to me when selling me this card. But I saw it, and as soon as I saw this card pop up on eBay, I knew I had to have it. And the whole experience overall was very pleasant. It got here in a few days. I've been kind of sitting around waiting to do this video. I was trying to get all my other scheduled uploads up before I did this one, but finally I have a chance here to show off this card and add it into my Cabrera player collection. This is a big part of it that I had previously been missing. Now, if I take a closer look at this, I'm very curious about what it would look like slabbed up. And you guys probably can't see it too well on camera because it's in the top litter and I'm not going to take it out. But this card is in really good shape. And the centering is spot on with it. It might be like a little off top to bottom, but it's not too much where I would say that this card is off-centered by any means. And looking on the back, some of the corners are kind of like colored on these Bowmans, so it can make them tough, especially like this corner up here. But all the corners are super sharp. There's not really anything besides that very small centering issue, and even on the back, it doesn't even look all that bad with the centering. That would really keep me from saying that this would be a PSA 10. And my only fear is that, I have to send this card away after I spent so long trying to chase Cabrera SUPERFRACTOR. I'd have to send it off and wait for it to get slabbed up. And really, I'm not trying to resell it. It is the only one of its kind, so the grade, I would say, is not going to boost its value. If it's a 10, it would boost its value, I would say, but that's not really what I'm concerned with. So, kind of want to let you guys give your thoughts on that down below in the comments. Do you think this is a card that is worth grading? I used to kind of laugh when people would grade SUPERFRACTORs just to try to resell them, but I do see the value more so in it now than I did back then. I was very naive and wasn't really into grading, so that's probably why I did that. But yeah, let me know what you think. Is this a card that you think I should get graded if I think it's going to grade out a PSA 10, knowing the risk involved of something possibly happening to it on the way there? But you guys let me know in the comments down below, and let me know what you think of this card. What is a card that you would really like to add to your collection? Whatever it might be. I've been searching for a Cabrera SUPERFRACTOR for the last 4 years, and I finally have mine today. So appreciate you guys tuning into today's video, and I will see you back Tomorrow with another Tops Ranked episode, and Monday with another TTM episode. But until then, have a good one.